Hey y'all, it's me, Eternally L. Are y'all mad at me? Seriously though, are y'all mad at me? Because I know I'm super late with this video, but I kind of wanted to make like an up close and personal video. You know, this video is it's kind of going to be more vulnerable. It's kind of going to be more informal than formal than like my usual videos, because I just wanted to make this video about like getting back on your feet, getting back on the horse, whatever that means to you, okay? The thing about me is I went into making content knowing that I never wanted to create like a fake personality on social media, because I make content about healing, okay? That's my niche. And healing isn't always pretty. Healing isn't always sunshine and rainbows, and I know I preach this a lot, but you guys also have to understand that creators like myself are human. We also go through bad times. We also go through things that are unprecedented, and you know, sometimes our schedule gets interrupted by things going on, okay? And I kind of just wanted to make this vulnerable video for you guys because I want you guys to understand that it's okay to have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, okay? Just make sure it is never a bad life, because it should never be a bad life. Just being here, living and breathing is enough, okay? And of course, I'm not like saying like you don't need like basic necessities or like wants or needs to live. You know, that's not what I'm saying before people misconstrue my words. But just being able to wake up today is such a blessing. Being able to move your body is a blessing. Being able to have access to so many things that I have access to is a blessing, you know? And I kind of wanted to make a vulnerable video because I've been going through it in my personal life, you know? And this video, I already know my haters are probably going to use this video and be like, oh, haha, she's going through stuff. But I'm not making this video for my haters. In fact, I don't make content for my haters, you know, unless these haters are actually fans and they like watch everything I do and they give me more views, right? But this video is going to be for my supporters, because my supporters need to know that vulnerability isn't a weakness. Expressing your feelings and emotions is a superpower, and it's a part of being human, you know? So over the past couple of days, I've had so many not so great things happen to me, you know, and emotionally and mentally I've been going through it. You know, I have a whole lot of new responsibilities on my plate, along with already the responsibilities that I have. I have a lot of things going on emotionally that aren't that great. And, you know, I kind of just needed to take a whole break from the whole content creation, because if you guys don't know, like, I'm not like formally diagnosed with anything, but it can be really hard for me to find motivation. And just thinking about, and just like the thought of recording this, editing this, posting this, promoting this was a lot for me. But I feel like I'm finally able to talk about it. I'm finally able to make a video for you guys. And I swear to God, like I literally got like a switch in my brain that was like, okay, you gotta make that video now. Okay, now you're feeling inspired. Because it's okay to, like I said, it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a bad week. It's okay to have a bad month, okay? But make sure that doesn't churn into a bad life, because you can always get back up on your feet, okay? Take your time, rest, recharge, recover, do what you need to do, but get back on the horse, okay? And we're going to talk about why that's so important, because you may feel like you don't want to do anything anymore, okay? Because sometimes like depressive feelings, sometimes unmotivation comes in waves, and that's a part of healing, you know, because now that you're healing, you're so self-aware about how your emotions are feeling, how you're doing mentally, how your body feels. Are you tired? Do you need to rest? Are you motivated? Are you in the mood to work? Even if you're tired, do you still want to work? All of that stuff, right? And not just like work as in like monetization or making money, right? Just like working on yourself, you know, because no one really talks about it, but when you start to work on yourself, it can be a lot, especially if you're like neurodivergent or something. Like, it can be a lot to start doing new things that you know are helping you, but can tire you out so quickly, you know? So it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to rest whenever your body needs to, okay? Don't ever feel guilty for resting, okay? I tried so hard to not feel guilty about being late for you guys because I deserve a break sometimes, you know? And I've been going through a lot in my personal life, and I'm obviously not going to share it on the internet, but I've been going through a lot, and I deserve to rest, and I know my supporters will be supportive of me taking care of myself because, like, not even being able to show up for a video, like, I'm going through it, y'all, you know? But I'm still here to show my wisdom. I'm still here to help and support you guys, okay? Just like how you guys support me. And I want you guys to understand that it's okay to take things slow when getting back on your feet, okay? Something major can happen and all of a sudden you feel like your whole life is crumbling. When in actuality, try to see it as a blessing. You know, something happened to me that was super unexpected, but I'm trying to see that as a blessing. I'm trying to see that as the universe being like, you know what, girl? Let's get this out of your life now because it was never going to work in the first place. You were only going to suffer more if I didn't get this out of your life now, okay? And now something better is coming, okay? Because when you guys have like a huge breakdown or a huge like event go on in your life that may seem negative and you're just like, what the heck is going on? This was so unexpected. Just know that something 100 times better is coming, and it's going to be super unexpected. You're going to be like, wow, that's what room the universe was making for me. That's what the universe was making room for in my life, you know, for something 10 times better, for something that works for me, for something that aligns with me more, okay? Because sometimes we can manifest things into our lives thinking that they'll make our lives better, thinking that it'll align with us more, when in actuality, the universe is like, hey, you're growing and changing as a person so quick that I'm going to give you something better, okay? And you may be scared now, you may be upset now, but just wait. Just you wait, okay? Because I have so many much better things planned for you. And I think that's beautiful. And like, it honestly kind of makes me tear up a little bit because it's just like, no matter how hard you think your life is getting, just know that something better is coming, you know? And still put in that work into yourself. Even if it's as simple as doing one meditation or putting moisturizer on your face. As long as it's something small, but it's still benefiting you, but you have the energy to do it, that's all that matters. Okay? Because I never preached about you guys rushing into healing. I never preached about you needing to heal super, super fast. And, you know, I always preached about going at your own pace. I always preached about taking things slow, if that's what works for you. You know, I always preached about curating this healing journey that works for you. Okay? Because I don't know how much y'all have gone through. I don't know what works for you guys. I don't know how your brain works. Only you know that. The person that knows you the most is you. So you got to curate your whole healing journey. And that may sound daunting. That may sound scary at first, especially if you're used to following a template, you know? But I think doing this yourself is the most beautiful thing in the world because we're all different. We're all different human beings, and you cannot follow someone's playbook step by step and expect it to work for you because you don't know that person. You don't know how their brain works, and you guys just may not align on that level, and that's okay, you know? So make sure your healing journey is curated towards you. And another thing too, like, it's okay. It's okay to just take a deep breath and reset. Take a deep breath and start on a whole new leaf. That's completely fine too. You know, resetting and getting back on the horse is the best thing you can do after getting off of it because you needed to rest. That rest was crucial, okay? That life event happening was crucial for your growth and your success. Okay? I want you guys to start seeing this stuff in a different light because it's just like, when you always see something as negative, then you're going to start seeing your whole life as negative, and that's not good. That's not beautiful, because we all have the ability to create beautiful lives for ourselves and each other, you know? So always give yourself that love, always give yourself that grace, knowing that you're a human being, okay? You're not perfect, you're not a robot, okay? There are going to be times where you're not consistent, in things you should be consistent in, and it all depends on your environment too. The better environment you live in, the more likely you're going to be consistent with taking care of yourself. The more likely you are going to be more motivated to work and do the things you love, you know? So keep that in mind, create an environment where you feel the most comfortable, but also make sure that environment is stable. Make sure the environment is the most safest you can make it, because your life and your personal journey and growth depends on it, because your environment can contribute to a lot of factors in your life, okay? The people you decide to surround yourself with, the room that you decide to live in, is it clean? Is it dirty? Is it cluttered? What else? Everything that goes into your environment matters. Okay? Everything that goes into your environment determines what kind of person you are and want to be. Okay? So make sure you remember that and keep that in mind. And also, keep in mind, this really helped me and put things into perspective for me. I remember being 14, 15, 16, being scared of my 20s. I remember being oh my God, what am I going to be doing when I'm 20 years old? That seems so far away. Oh my God, I wonder what I'm going to be like. I wonder what kind of person I'm going to be like, right? 14-year-old Elle versus now 20-year-old Elle are two completely different people. When I tell you guys, throughout your adolescence and your early 20s, you're going to be changing a lot. And I know I'm saying this now as a 20-year-old, but 22-year-old Elle might be a completely different person. 25-year-old Elle, 28-year-old Elle, 30-year-old Elle. That's crazy to think about. And it was crazy to think about back then, but I'm still here, and I'm in a much better position now. So whenever you think about it, right, whenever you think you're in such a bad situation, whenever you think such an unexpected twist of events happen, think to your past self, think about your past self, and really see how much you've grown, because even 19-year-old versus 20-year-old Elle are very different, very, very different in terms of mindset, in terms of what she wants to do with her life, in terms of her environment, and all of these things. You change so fast, and you blink and it's just you're a completely different person, and this is why I say change is a natural state for humans. Change is a natural state. We're supposed to change. If you're the type of person that fears change, good luck, because it's inevitable. Especially when you were just a teenager, especially when you're just getting out of adolescence, especially if you're in college, or maybe just even out of college. Even as an adult in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you will just gain more and more knowledge, more and more wisdom, So whenever you're scared of the future, whenever the future feels unexpected, unprecedented, just think about your younger self and how they were scared to be the age that you are now. That's my biggest tip. But yeah, I just wanted to be more vulnerable for you guys, because I want you guys to understand that we're all just human beings trying to find ourselves in life. We're all just trying to find our purpose. We're all trying to find what we enjoy. We're all trying to find, careers, goals, relationships, and not just romantic either, because I'm all about centering yourself, not centering men or romantic relationships, but center the relationship with yourself, and form beautiful platonic relationships so you actually understand what love really feels like. You understand what love really feels like with yourself when you take yourself on solo dates. Gotta love solo dates. And you understand love when you're out with your friends, when you're with your family. Because why would you choose a romantic partner that barely gives you the love that you already have in your life? That isn't romantic, because not all love is romantic, So keep that in mind, keep your standards high, and I love you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.